Hello. I get it. Being stuck in a plateau is fucking annoying. So, you go to the gym, you're doing your training, you're doing your steps, you think you're doing your cardio, you think you're eating right, you think you're doing all the things. You should be dropping body fat, you should be gaining muscle, you should be toning up, but you're like, what is going on? I am not seeing the progress that I want to see, or I have been seeing progress and suddenly I've stalled for ages and I just don't know what's going on. Well, girl, I gotcha. So, in this video, I'm going to talk about why a plateau might happen and how to break through. So, let's jump straight into it. Let's not waste any time. One, why does a plateau happen? So, hitting a weight loss plateau is common and usually pretty normal, but it can be frustrating. I totally get it. So, some key reasons why your progress may stall. So, and this isn't all of the reasons, this is just the most common reasons. One, you could have metabolic adaptations. So, as you lose weight, your body will burn fewer calories due to you just being weighing less. Like, you think if you're carrying around a barbell on your back, like a heavy barbell on your back, and then you take it off, it expends a lot more energy carrying the extra heavy the barbell on your back than it does just being body weight. So obviously, when you lose a certain amount of weight, it's just easier for you to function day to day. So you naturally expend less energy. You also have other metabolic adjustments to help you conserve energy. So your body's almost fighting back against the weight loss because when you do it for too long, it's like it doesn't want this. You're in starvation. You're like weight loss is a stressor on the body and your body doesn't like change. It likes to stay in homeostasis. And anything that comes out of its normal balanced state is gonna fight back against it. If you're cold, you shiver to generate heat to warm up. When you're hot, you sweat to cool down. When you're dropping lots of body fat, your body's going to try and compensate to try and minimize this calorie deficit. It doesn't like being in a calorie deficit, so it's going to fight back against it, and you need to fight back too. And there's different strategies to help with that. So there are different metabolic adaptations that can occur. The other common reason is you've got diet fatigue. If you've been dieting for a really long period of time, you're going to have increased cravings. You're going to be hungry. It's going to be harder to stay consistent. You might just be sick of it. So you could get just generally diet fatigue. Because as you're losing weight, your body's trying to make you be a bit lazier. So you may subconsciously move less, you have less energy, reducing your daily energy expenditure. You fidget less, you move less, you do less than you even realize. And as you've been going for a really long period of time, you get a bit lax with your tracking. So over time, it's easy to become more relaxed with your portion sizes, with your calorie tracking. Oh, I don't need it. I can eyeball this, that, there, and everywhere. And that can lead to unintentional overeating and take you out of your calorie deficit without even realizing. There's many more factors, but these are the most common ones. And understanding these factors can help you choose the best approach to push past your plateau. So what do? We've got three options here. One, we're going to push on and dig deeper. Two, it's time for a maintenance phase. Or three, we could have a refeed and a diet break. Let me break it down. So, step one could be pushing on, dig deeper. So, if you still have energy and focus, if you've only been dieting for like less than 12 weeks ish, there's no hard and fast rule here, but just as a roughie, you're not crazy food focused. You're not just scrolling TikTok, looking at all the recipes, going far out. I can't wait to eat that. So you're not too food focused. You don't have massive physical fatigue. You just not if you're not recovering from the gym, you just feel like shit. Versus if you are, that kind of physical fatigue. You have room to decrease your calories or increase your output. If you're already down at 1,300 calories and doing 20,000 steps a day and 5 hours of cardio, you're not pushing on and digging deeper. It's time to do something else. So you could push through by making further adjustments, such as drop your calories slightly, reducing your calorie intake by 5 to 10% to create a larger deficit. You could increase your energy output, such as increasing your daily step count by 1,000. Or you could just dial in on your tracking. Check how you're going with weighing your food, tracking your calories, and dial in your consistency. This method works best if you still feel physically and mentally capable of sustaining a deficit without excessive fatigue. So this one is like you need to assess and actually see if you can push on and dig deeper and whether you should or not. Option two, have a refeed or a diet break. So if you're feeling fatigued and sore, you've been dieting for like that 8 to 20 weeks ish range. You're not crazy food focused, but you're starting to get a little bit. You have potential room to decrease your calories or increase your output afterwards if needed. You have a bit of a tightish timeline to achieve your weight loss goals. These are just some different factors involved. This then, a refeed or a diet break, is just a temporary break from dieting to help kind of reset, refresh, re-energize, help with your motivation, help with your metabolism, just almost like not a full reset, but just like a little refresher. It's like having a nana nap, having a quick cat nap versus like having a full sleep overnight. Reversing back to maintenance, which I'll talk about in a second, is more like just going to bed and waking up the next morning after 10 hours of sleep and you feel amazing. Versus a refeed or a diet break's like having a quick afternoon nap. Quick kip. This is what this is. So, a refeed day or days is usually just 1 to 3 days, and we increase your carbohydrate intake to bring your calories up to maintenance. And then we go back to your diet after that. Sometimes you can go for a super ninja trick here and you can have refeed days, bring them up to maintenance for a couple of days, say in a week, and then you can like a couple of days in the week, and then you can decrease calories in the next coming weeks so that your weekly total calories, you're still in a deficit, but you've just reallocated where the calories are. Now, this will depend on where your dieting calories are, because if they're already super low, you're not going to want to drop them super duper low to kind of balance that out. So that is it depends on the context and what level expertise you have in the dieting process. So generally speaking, it just to make life easier, just, for 1 to 3 days, come up to maintenance by increasing your carbohydrate intake and then just go back to what you were doing before. Hopefully that's enough to reset and refresh potentially. Maybe you need to spend a little bit more time there, so you could do 1 to 2 weeks at maintenance calories, and that's a diet break. Now, the benefits of this is it's going to help reduce your stress, your diet fatigue, your food focus, improve your energy, your recovery, your training performance, minimize metabolic adaptations, and just make it easier to get back into that dieting. Help you if you're like super hungry all the time. It's just going to help you refresh and reset. But this doesn't mean go and eat takeaway, whatever the hell you want. Like, it just means we're increasing your carbohydrates. So you're going to eat more rice, have a little bit more cereal, have more fruit. Like, you're just still going to have mostly whole foods, high protein, little bit of fun foods because you got a little bit of wriggle room. Maybe you go and have a meal out here and there, but it doesn't mean, oh my God, I can go eat whatever the hell I want for the next 3 days. It's like, no, just eat bigger portions of what you've already got. Like, eat more carbohydrates, but don't go fucking wild, because that is going to make it harder to get back into the routine. Whereas when you just increase the volume of the whole foods that you're already having, you're going to feel good. You're going to actually feel energized and recovered. Whereas if you just go and have 3 days of fast food, you're just going to feel like shit. And then it's just, that was silly. So don't do that. Keep it mostly whole foods, sprinkle in the fun foods, which you should do all the time, anyways. Then option 3 is we need to go for a sleep overnight, reverse up to maintenance. So if you're feeling very fatigued, you're very sore, you've been dieting for like 3 or 4 months, you're very food focused, you've got high levels of diet fatigue, you have no room to drop your calories further or increase your output anymore. You're not on a strict timeline, so you can afford to have a break, and you're just feeling bloody over it. You're just exhausted. The reverse diet, you got to be patient, but you reverse diet slowly back up to your maintenance calories, and then you spend an extended period of time up here. Like, I'm talking 2, 3, 4 months in maintenance mode before you do a second diet break. We gradually increase your calories by bringing your calories up to maintenance over a few weeks to avoid rapid fat gain. So we want to bring your calories up as high as possible without adding on any body fat. Your scale weight will change because we're adding in carbohydrates. With carbohydrates comes more water. That is normal. So the scale will increase a little bit, but we're monitoring for body fat, and that's a different thing to monitor for. The scale helps us to monitor it because I know how much when you refuel your body back up with carbohydrates, there is a certain amount of weight that is normal. And then beyond that, I know when it becomes body fat. So, we might start with 1 to 200 calories per week, depending on how your body is responding. And then we're going to focus on strength and recovery. So you use this time to improve performance in the gym and really push to build more muscle and feeling strong. And so then when you actually go through that diet phase next, again, you're actually going to end up being more toned and more like you're going to love that body even more because you had this maintenance break where you could focus on building muscle. You build muscle in a diet, yes, but it's more effective the more food that you have to a certain extent. You don't have to go into a crazy build. I digress. And an extended maintenance period can improve your metabolic function and set you up for a more successful future fat loss phase. So, this approach is ideal for those who have been in a deficit for a long time. They're feeling burnt out from prolonged dieting and they just need a refresh and reset and just relax, focus on consistency, focus on building muscle, getting stronger, healthy habits without the pressure of losing weight, losing weight, losing weight, losing weight. And this is so good because when you do cycles like this of dieting and building muscle, dieting and maintenance and building muscle and all that, your end result ends up so much better and you're just so much happier and healthier and you can time it around like if you're on holidays or if you've got events coming up, like you can go, cool, I'm going to diet hard for the next 6 weeks and then I'm going to reverse for 2 weeks because then I'm going on holidays for 4 weeks. And so you can strategically put in maintenance breaks to make you also still be able to enjoy life while still achieving your goals. And the purpose of the maintenance is to bring your calories up as high as possible, but maintain the level of fat loss that you have achieved in that previous dieting phase. And you just rinse and repeat that cycle. It's super important though to get those calories as high as we can because it's going to prep your metabolism for that future dieting phase. That is a super duper important phase. So, what is the right one for you? Well, it depends. The most annoying answer ever, but it depends. There's no one hard, fast rule for anyone. And the game plan is going to be unique for you. These are all unique ladies. It's going to be unique for you. Here's a couple of examples. So for Megan, Elise, and Dion, first, we actually just dropped straight into a dieting phase. They were all in a position that they were eating good calories to get started with, so we could go straight into a dieting phase and we just dug deeper. Then we do a reverse diet, which you can see, and then we do a lean build. So at the moment, we're still dieting with Dion, but she's had regular diet breaks throughout her dieting phase. For the other ladies, they did their dieting phase and then we reverse dieted them back up, and now you can see them going through their building phase. So again, it's not one size fits all. For Karen, completely different. We went straight to a reverse diet. She was eating 15 to 1600 calories. She was stressed about what she was eating. She was doing hours of cardio, like hours, man. I had to really hold her back on the cardio. And now she's eating over 2,100 calories, and the weight difference between this is like 2 kilos difference, and she looks stronger. She's more toned. You can see how much her legs have grown because she's killing it in the gym with her strength training. Her glutes have grown. Her upper body's growing. She feels strong. She feels fabulous. And she's prepping her body to then go into her next dieting phase. And we're building more muscle. So as she drops more body fat, she's going to look more toned as well. For Reggie, she wanted to compete. So what did we do? The first thing we did was jump straight into a building phase. We didn't even have to go through a dieting phase to get started with because she was already in a pretty good position. So we jumped straight into building it up and then we went into her dieting phase. So we prepped her metabolism for the dieting phase by getting her calories as high as possible and her steps as low as reasonably possible. So then she had lots of things that we could play with when we went through the dieting phase. So as you can see, the game plan is unique to you. And that's exactly what I do. I assess, I give you your exact game plan that you need, and we go from there. So, what's next? If any of this resonated with you, if you're nodding your head and you're like, yep, that's me, then I would definitely love to help. So, message me on Instagram, I'm ready, and we'll have a quick chat to see where you're at and if this is the right fit for you. Now, there's no pressure, just clarity. The worst thing that comes out of our conversation is that you get a game plan to know what to do, whether you should be reverse dieting, whether you should be having a diet break, or whether you should dig on. You're just going to get an idea. But you need to stop spinning your wheels and actually get results that feel good, look good, and they last for life. So jump back into the Instagram, shoot me a message, and we'll have a conversation. And if I feel like it's a good fit and I can help you, we'll jump on a call and I will give you a game plan no matter what. And worst case scenario, I'll just send you another free resource like this one here. So I'll see you soon. Shoot me a message and we'll go from there. Have an amazing day.